Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon, nestled nice and warm in Nashville.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, Jared, it's good to have you back on the show.
Nestled in Nashville.
Yes.
That's right.
We'll get to why the heck you're actually talking to us. Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd. Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you're listening to our show. Yes, we are all three together again.
Three blind
Yes.
mice.
And Jared is actually kind of the guest. He's not so much, it's not like his guest, but this is, we're just kind of catching up with Jared, finding out what's going on over at the Gibson shop. To the best that he can. Tell us what is happening without all of the confidential reports and statistics and memos and, dossiers.
That stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Jared, are you in possession of any dossiers? Hey, so let's get on with this. We're going to have a real good time. We do have, Tony, I bet there's probably at least one brand new listener.
How could there be?
I'm hoping there's more.
How could there
I'm
be?
guessing there's more.
How could?
I know there's more.
Okay.
But for those people, why don't you give them a rundown of what exactly they're going to expect?
Well, Todd, we like to talk about gear. Specifically, we like to talk about boutique gear. And more specifically, we like to talk to the makers of said boutique gear. You know what else we do? We talk to authors. We talk to musicians. We talk to movers and shakers in the industry.
Yes.
Kind of like we're going to do today.
Yes.
Because Jared is a mover and a shaker.
And everybody knows it. when
That's
that happens.
right.
He's moving and we're shaking.
That's what we do. So listen, you take a look. Oh, we also do 101s where we learn
That's right.
a deep dive into certain things.
Yeah.
So that's what we do, Todd.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, speaking of that, why don't we get on with what's going on in our music worlds this week? No, wait. We got some announcements.
Announcements.
What am I doing?
Announcements.
Have I lost my mind? First of all, I want to just do a quick shout out to a couple of people. Trevor Ellenberg, Bruce Bacon, Bob Crouch, and Sam Jett have all very specifically been in a great deal of communicado with me over several things, and I just really appreciate talking to you guys. So thank you for that, and we got a whole stack of Would You Rathers from Mr. Bacon and BC, aka
Thank you, sir.
Bob Crouch. On with our announcements. First of all, we got these Van Halen books from Chris Gill.
Yes.
And they're awesome.
Yes, they are.
And we've given one away.
Yes. Do we have more?
It's time to give number 2 away.
Number 2.
Nice.
Yes.
Who is number 2?
That is none other than John Halverson.
John Halverson.
That is
That's
correct. You got yourself a signed copy of Eruption, Conversations with Eddie Van Halen.
Lucky.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
we've got this pedal sitting here, Tony.
The Bologna pedal.
The Tony Baloney pedal.
Yes.
And I think there's only about, as we're recording, there's only 10 left.
Okay.
So when this hits, there might be a few left. There's probably going to be, there's going to be some left. Go get one.
You got to buy it.
Okay? What is this based on?
It is a nod to the Voodoo Labs
it's a close
Sparkle Drive.
interpretation
Sparkle Drive.
Sparkle Drive?
of the Sparkle
Yeah.
Drive.
Yes.
Your favorite overdrive.
That is one of, it's not just an overdrive, it's a clean boost,
It's
too.
a clean boost, but mostly an overdrive.
Okay. It's, if you want to
Yes.
put it that way.
Yes.
It's
Let's not diminish its return.
okay, I will not.
So what's cool is this has it looks like
Looks like an
actual
Oscar Mayer
bologna.
package.
Yeah, and the enclosure's pink.
Yes. Bologna pink.
And then we got pork, beef, gristle, and fat. Those are your controls.
That's all the basic food groups.
Yes, and it says Nitwit 4,426 ounces.
That's a lot of ounces.
That is. Do the math, and you might come to a certain conclusion.
Oh, yes.
Anyways, so this is a super fun pedal that Sam Jet's doing, and all the proceeds of this are going to Hungry for Music.
Yes.
Which is
It puts instruments in the hands of kids.
That's what it is. It's a charity that Sam picked out specifically for this, and like I said, all proceeds are going. It's $1.75. Well, that's $175, just in case anybody actually tries to think it's $1.75.
I'll give it
$175, but it's all going to charity.
I'd buy that for $1.
There are no pockets being lined here.
No, it's cool.
And it's all sweat equity. So,
and it sounds really good.
It really does.
I mean,
we've talked about
to my discerning ear, it sounds really good.
Yeah. So, anyways, how do you go get one of these, Tony?
Well, I believe if you go to the @Tony Baloney pedal, and that's Baloney's on Instagram on the IG.
Still really need a lot of help with this.
On the IG, see?
Yeah, on the
you go
IG,
over to the IG.
Yes,
and the Baloney is spelled.
That's what everybody at the early bird special is saying.
Yes.
The IG. Yeah.
The Baloney part of it is spelled BOLONEY.
That is correct. So it's Tony Baloney pedal. Send a DM.
Yes.
Which is a message, direct message, and say, I want one of these. And then we'll follow up and get your information, okay? Excellent. Oh, and these are all signed. Tony signed them.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
And Sam signed them, too.
And Sam signed them. So that is happening. And I think...
Hopefully there'll be some left by the time you're hearing this.
Yeah. I've sent off the list of the sketchy Guitar Knobs Boost to... Sketchy pedals to get those built.
Oh, cool.
And I think, we might have a couple. So if you're still interested in that, just let me know. Hit me up on Instagram at Guitar Knobs and let me know if you're still, wanting one of those. I'll put a good word in.
What colors have people been asking for?
We've got a couple. We got a yellow, a white, a red.
Cool.
A pink.
Mine's orange.
And orange.
Yes.
But there's others, whatever. So let's get on with what's going on in our music world this week. We're going to check in with Tanya Bolonsky.
Yes.
And then our little buddy Jared.
So we've been talking about this, it seems like, for the last year.
Yes.
That I've been putting together this, 60...
I can't wait to put this to rest.
62 Telecaster.
Yes. We talked about it when Acorn Amps was on.
Yes. Well, Acorn Amps, Tyler over at Acorn had sent me some of the circuit board pick guards that they had made.
Yes.
And I'm a big Telecaster fan, of course, so I chose the Telecaster version.
Sure.
And literally built the guitar around it. My buddy Pat at Coop Guitars made the body for me. It's kind of like it's a kind of a yellowed white, I guess. In the 60s it would have been.
It's an aged white. It's a nicotined white.
Yeah. But It works really well. The circuit board is on kind of like a greenish color background, but it's got copper on it.
It's loaded with copper on top.
So that part looks really cool.
What you're seeing on top is copper, which goes well with the white. But on the backside, there's a touch of that greenish stuff.
Yeah,
but it's mostly copper.
But it looks pretty cool, and
it really does.
I'm real happy with it. It's all parts.
It plays fantastic.
Neck.
That neck is great.
Yeah, I've been real happy with the all parts necks.
Yeah,
they do a nice job. I've got a set of Lindy Fralin Blue Special pickups, which kind of are my go-to for Telecasters when I'm not using Brandon Wound pickups.
Yeah,
and it has my signature reversed control plate. I always put the switch.
Yeah, I do too. The switch in the front's
it's in the way.
So get it out of there.
Literally, in the way. But anyhow, real happy with how this one came out. Looks great. Tyler, thank you for the pick guard and the inspiration to build a guitar around that.
Yeah, we'll do some good pictures of that.
Yeah.
We'll go in back there in the studio and take a couple.
Okay, we can do that.
All right, Jared, what's up?
Oh, man. So, briefly talked about this on a little video that I posted on our social media. But I'd like to go into a little more context about that. So,
please, because we don't know what you're talking about yet.
Right. So a few years ago, I bought an EDS 1275.
What is that?
That is a SG 12-string, 6-string combination. It's what Jimmy played live for Stairway to Heaven. Song remains the same.
Gibson double neck.
Double neck.
big old Gibson double neck, and it's a demo, so I paid way less than what you would pay, normal price.
Sure.
You got a really good deal. So I use it a lot for recordings, a ton, and but it just, to me, it just has not been. It's very versatile, right? But I just want more out of it. So I just want more.
Add middle pickups to the top, both sides of the guitar, so you can have three pickup stops, pickups.
That. So a while back, Matt Kaler, he's a vice president of brands at Gibson. He walked in and said, "Hey man, I grabbed you a bunch of pickup stuff. Les Paul's neighbor has a bunch of Les Paul stuff from his house, from his estate. But Matt was looking out for me, so he grabbed some really cool stuff. He grabbed me a bag of old lead wire from it has to be from the 70s or 80s. And he also grabbed me a box full of pickups.
Whoa.
And a lot of those pickups were put together single coil pickups. They were strap pickups, but I think they belonged to Les Paul. And I just have them sitting around. I didn't really care about that. But the crown jewel of what he gave me was this humbucker. And it was kind of a Tim Shaw era built humbucker. And I don't know if Tim built it for Les Paul or not. I'm not sure. But it's a regular humbucker from the early 80s era. It's got the stamp on the back on the thing. But it has two braided wired leads coming out of the pickup, kind of like an old Dirty Fingers did.
Oh, yeah.
But the pickup is just a regular humbucker. It's not a Dirty Finger. It's got probably an Alnico 5, I'm guessing. And it reads 9K, which is very odd. Very.
What did you expect it to read?
That is not indicative of what Gibson made in the early 80s. So I know this was made.
What is indicative?
I thought it was going to read 7.6K or 7.7.
You're saying it's hot, Jared.
It's super hot for what it is for the era. So
hot,
and it's splittable coil. And I'm like, well, of course they would make that for Les Paul, because Les Paul didn't like hot pickups. He liked 4K, 5K. Single coil pickups, because they were the most
practically
clear.
an EMG.
It is. So it's a very clear sounding pickup. So if you split the coil.
Yeah.
So long story even longer, I decide what I'm going to do with that pickup. I don't really it belonged to Les Paul, yeah, but he never used it. There's no solder at the end of the wire. He just put it in a box, probably never cared about it, forgot about it. So it's not very special, but it's special to me. I put it in my EDS 1275 in the 12-string bridge position so I can get that nice 60s jangle. That's what I've been looking for, is that nice, thin, mid-60s 12-string jangle, not the humbucker sound.
Interesting.
So I did it. It was kind of a pain to wire the wire the 1-2 lead all the way to the other side of the guitar, because it's a wide guitar. It's a big giant guitar, but I figured it out, got a push pull, and voila, it sounds pretty good. I've already used it to record stuff with my buddy.
I like my idea of adding a third pickup to both top and bottom of the guitar.
Yes.
Nah, you don't need more, you need less. And that's what I did.
You need more.
I put less in it.
Yes.
I want less. I want jangleness. I want jangle. I want sparkle. I want 60s 12-string sparkle.
Okay.
So I got it. Very happy with that.
Well,
it's very
that's cool.
super versatile now.
What color is that one?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Red.
Oh, it's a red one.
It's cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
Hey, yeah. What about you, good old buddy Todd?
Well, I had a busy week because I have been hard at work editing this video that we just put out on YouTube. Yes,
What?
a video on YouTube, an actual video, not a video representation of the podcast, which, by the way, if you're not listening on YouTube, you can listen to our show on YouTube. In fact, there's going to be 2 ways actually really soon because they've got the podcast platform that they're promoting right now. But our episodes are basically just like normal videos, except you're just hearing it.
Yes. There's silly still photos.
Yes.
You don't want to see it.
Anyways, so we did a video based on the AC30 S1 that I had recently acquired. And essentially we said, you know what? Everybody yelled at me and said, you got to put an Alnico speaker in there. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't know which one now. So we reached out to several friends and partners. And we ended up with a whole bunch of gear that we put to the test with a whole bunch of sweat equity from friends of the show. And I'm really, really happy with it. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you give it a watch. Please give it a watch. I think you'll like it. What we did, whenever I watch speaker shootouts and stuff like that, to me it's always kind of a pain in the butt because you don't know where. It's tricky to say like, okay, or is it they're going to play a Telecaster and then they play something completely different through a humbucker or something like that, but that's kind of the extent of it. Or they don't even do that. It's just one guitar.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I'm trying to find out what this is going to sound like with, if I mainly play a humbucker or if I mainly play a P90 or whatever. So we did a whole section where we do a shootout with 5 speakers, 4 Alnico speakers, and then the stock VX. Yeah. And we did it with a Telecaster, we did it with a humbucker, we did it with a P90, and we did it with a TV Jones.
Yes. And it should be said that it's the exact same recorded riff that Hex Matos was playing.
Right.
So it's not like he can say, oh, well, he did something different on that second thing.
No, it's the exact same thing.
It's the same thing being fed through
That's correct.
all of these speakers.
Yeah.
So you get a real good, I found it kind of ear-opening.
Yes.
To hear, there are some differences.
There's some real big differences. And, the only bummer about that is that when you're listening, it's only the dimension of the audio that's being put through the speakers. But when you're in the room and you're moving around it, that's where I found I was like, wow, these have a whole other dimension to it, especially with the Alnico I found. It was like where you are in front of it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
So, all that being said,
where can people find this video?
Go to YouTube, go to our channel, The Guitar Knobs, and it's the most recent one, and it's called the Vox AC30 S1 Alnico Speaker Shootout. Pew pew. Pew pew. Yeah, it's got a lot, but if you just if you do Alnico Speaker Shootout, you're gonna get years worth of everybody doing an AC30. But again, this is different because an AC. Tony, we talk about it in the show, but explain why.
Well, what's different about this is because it's a single speaker AC30.
Right.
You can't use, the typical solution would be put a Alnico Blue, a Celestian Blue speaker.
215s.
Yeah, but those are only rated at about 15 watts.
Right.
So we had to actually find 4 speakers that had a high enough wattage rating that we could do just with a single.
We did I think a 30 to 50.
Yeah, they were all in that range.
And they were all 16 ohm.
Yes.
Instead of 8 ohm.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Well, that's because that's what your amp wanted. It wanted to feel the 16 ohm.
Yes, but they don't make the blue in that. They don't make anyways, that's what we have to do. So I'm overcomplicating it for the sake.
Yes,
anyways.
Just for the sake of
it was really, really cool. And I want to say a huge thanks to Avatar speakers. They supplied us with their own Alnico speaker, a Thane Alnico, and the convertible speaker cabinet, which was it sounded great.
That's a good cabinet.
And then also a huge thanks to Amperian speakers.
Yep.
And they sent us one. And then we got so that's the Fane. That's 3 speakers. We got the Vox stock speaker, and then special thanks to Tony for bringing in a
I was wondering if you're going to remember where that one came from.
And John Finnell, who runs Relay Recording, where we are right now, he worked hard on getting the sound just perfect, and I truly appreciate it. He loves guitar. He's a guitar guy, so he knows how to record it really, really well.
Yeah, he's got the ear.
And then Hex came down after a late night show to just play for us so that I could be busy, directing everything and making sure all that stuff.
And then we had a pizza party.
It was great. It was super fun. And then my friend Jason filmed it, although he doesn't want me to say anything about it. But I'm so appreciative. And the last one, my friend Nick.
Oh, yes, Nick did a great job.
He helped me out so much with getting everything going in the edit. And then I took over, and then there we are. So
the pizza type was of Domino's nature. However, we also got there was some butternuts or something like that, and their world famous cookie brownies, which were oh man, killer stuff.
Yes,
I missed this stuff.
Tony was busy eating, I was busy working.
Oh, isn't that the way it always is?
Yes. So we are actually going to do a podcast specifically around what our interpretation of that day, what we thought about each of the speakers, how it interacted with the actual guitars.
Can we have another pizza party?
Maybe. So we're going to have everybody in. Hex will be joining via phone, but everybody else will be here, and it'll be great. It's going to be a really fun episode. So that's going to be coming up in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Yes. Woo, doggies.
Well, what are we doing today?
Well, first of all, I want to say we did hook up a single pedal because we used the JHS Morning Glory for a little bit of drive on that.
Yep.
And so in order to do that, we used the Tour Gear Designs patch cables. Tony.
I am familiar with said patch cables.
Correct. Yeah. So you need to get some of these. Connect your pedals with the Tour Gear Designs patch cables. They're good people making good things, and they're not going to break the bank. Go load your card up and then use the coupon code TheGuitarKnobs to save 15%.
15%
off your order.
Wow.
Thank you so much to Tour Gear for sponsoring the 4 on the Floor that we are not doing today. Anyways, we have Jared on the phone, and we said, Jared, it's been a while since we really kind of caught up with you on... You're so busy. Everybody keeps saying, we want Jared. We want Jared. I've gotten several mails and messages that say, more Jared, please. And I was like, we'd love to, but you're a busy guy. And you're over in Nashville, so we're behind another hour there. So it just creates some extra complications that I know that, you try to get around every time that, you're able to. But today, we want to talk about You are a man inside. Yes. Yeah. You are a mole, a plant.
He's the Tom Cruise of the Guitar Knobs.
Tom Cruise? What?
He's a Mission Impossible guy.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I don't look like Tom Cruise.
No,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
If he stood beside me, people would think he was my son.
You guys would, it would look like
your lunch.
The Twins movie cover.
Yeah. Yes. That's it.
Anyways, so we just said, Jared, tell us. Why don't you jump on and tell us about a few things that are going on there? And so that's what we're going to do. Hope everybody's okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and we did talk about later on having a couple people from Gibson come on the show and talk about specifically in deeper detail some of the things that they are doing over there. So I'm hoping that'll play out.
Yeah, I've got to kind of see if I can get some people on. I have a few.
Caesar's probably free for lunch.
Yeah.
Cesar? Yeah. No.
Anyways, all right, Jared. How are things going over there for you, by the way? Let's first start out with that.
So for me personally, I love to work there. It's very friendly there. It's very inclusive. It's very respectful. No matter at what level you're working at there at Gibson, the pickup shop are full of people of different walks of life, and everybody respects everybody mutually. And it's really refreshing. So that's one of the joys that
Like when you crack open a squirt.
Pretty much. Everybody likes squirt. If not, it's okay. They don't get mad at you if you don't like squirt.
You can always have a 7-Up or something.
No.
Exactly.
It's different.
I mean, I love
different.
squirt, though. It's so cool.
Or a Fresca.
It's the grape shoot. Fresca.
You can have a Fresca.
Frescas are fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Jared, let's back up a little bit. What is your role at Gibson? Just to remind people.
So I'm a product manager in product development. So what I do is I try to figure out, as far as new product, I figure out a line of pickups that we'll look at today.
Yeah, specifically products. The products you're talking about are pickups.
Our pickups.
Yes.
So
we'll help you along. It's fine.
I am the product manager of pickups.
Yeah.
And I come up with new product and we sell that stuff. So it's kind of like what I did in my old business. I thought of stuff to sell and I developed it and sold it. So that's what I do at Gibson.
So that
a little more than that too.
Fair amount of research, I imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that's involved in that. It's a lot of you can kind of you have to put everything past it's kind of go through a process, and it's very involved, and it takes a long time to put ideas and products through processes of yay, nay. There's a legal that looks at it and says, well, we can't do this because that's not legal, or somebody else is using that name.
There's a very high bar there too. I mean, it
is.
The legacy and history demands that, it's got to go through a pretty rigorous sniff test, I should say.
Yeah.
And another thing that I do that's really fun is when we get an artist guitar that's coming down the pike that we want to develop. They give the pickups to me to develop for that artist. So I get to find out what the true specs are to the pickups, all the little questions like that, all the little secrety things I get to find out and develop it. Like for the Jason Isbell Red Eye and the EDS 1270, the Jimmy Page EDS 1275, projects like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's probably that's a very fun part of my job as well. So.
Well, that's very cool. And you work. How many people are in your department in the pickup area?
Not very many. I would say in product development, maybe 15 to 20. But we have.
I think that's a lot more than most people expected to hear.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
It is a lot because you've
by
got
people, I mean me.
We're teams. So I'm the only fella that does pickups, and my boss is the director of development.
Jared is a team.
He helps me out with that. I am the team pickup because it's the guitar process is way, way more difficult, and they need teams of developers and people to develop those. So I can handle the pickup part myself with a little bit of guidance.
How about in the pickup shop itself? How many people are in there?
There's around, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give a specific number on that, but it's a good, I don't know.
More than two.
Between 1 and 100.
50.
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool.
So there's a lot of people.
30, between 30 and 50 people in the pickup shop.
So there's a lot of people involved with making the pickups, winding,
Oh
potting.
my gosh.
Everybody has their own little duty, right?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll share some of the things that during the development process, after the pickups approved and we can move on with it, when it comes time to one of my favorite parts is teaching the pickup floor production how to build the actual pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use a presentation software on the computer, and I will do a curriculum doing that and present that and have a class. And I've got this big long stick and I point to pictures on the TV. No, I don't. but we go through that PowerPoint thing, and then I'll actually roam around the production floor when they're validating that product. That means they're taking it through the line the first time, and I'll help them out with that and answer any questions. And the team there is is fantastic. We've got a great supervisor. The leadership team that runs the pickup shop is great.
Now, you're not using any. I mean, you're basically doing these old school type, right? I mean, this is not like this is all hand done.
Yeah, there's no computer. There's no computer system for any of our pickups at all. So we have all these old.
I don't think people realize that.
No, I don't know. Well, if you go to the pickup
shop, there's
a
whole row of really old ladies, and all they're doing is spinning these.
I wouldn't say they're old, but they're.
Just kidding.
Do they wear hairnets?
Yeah. No, but they're really, really nice women, and they've been there for like 20, 30 years.
Wow,
that's
cool.
And that's interesting because Leo Fender always hired women to wind pickups, and it sounds like you think so.
Yeah, the pickup parts are so small, and women have smaller hands generally.
Yeah,
and they work hard, and they're smart people. I mean, they're great people.
Except Betty Kopechne. She's got
Kopechne gotta go.
Gorilla.
She's gotta go. She literally dunks the pickups in the wax with her hands.
Yes.
So the ladies that run these old, they're not the old Lasonas because they only did 3 at a time. These are the Meteor 301s.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's the name of the machine, and they're on the website. There's pictures of them there, so there's not a big secret. But they do 12 bobbins at a time.
Wow.
Run.
Wow.
It's and we have like 6 of them. So they run them all day long.
That's a lot of coils.
That's a ton. I mean, that's a huge ton. That's why we need to staff so many people to keep up with what the machines are.
And each one of those it's got very specific parameters. It's got to hit a certain K value, and if it's wrong, you got to take.
There's a little tolerance there, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good at nailing what is specified.
Yeah. And, do you walk around with a ruler and smack their nuts? Anyway.
No.
You only wound 1,019. It's supposed to be 1,017.
Yeah. No, I walk around and smile and shake hands and.
That's nice. Well, you're an affable guy, so yes. I can see where that would work nicely. Plus, they're probably horribly afraid of you.
No, I when I do my classes, dude, I'll do a little history and I'll add little entertaining facts and all this kind of thing, and I try to make that as fun as you can because let's face it, not everybody's there because they love pickups. They're there because they want to make a living.
Yeah.
So they're not thinking about pickups all day. They're just thinking about doing the task at hand. So it's a lot of fun to try to get them a little more interested in the product when I do the little classes. So
help us understand. We're not going to spend the entire show talking about every little thing
I want to talk
doing.
about some other things.
Yeah, but I am curious. Like, where does the idea or notion come from? To do, hey, we should do a pickup like was on so-and-so's guitar in 78 or whatever.
Well, right now, there's a ton to choose from as far as ideas.
There's like a big suggestion box.
I actually have a ton of ideas that I've had for a long time, and they're all written down. So when it's time to show the new ideas, I have plenty. I have plenty in the barrel.
Do you just pull it out of a hat?
No,
Is it like one of those journals that you put in between your mattress, like when you're a little kid with a little tiny lock?
Dear diary.
Kind of. Yeah, pretty much. Yep, and it says Gibson on it. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I see what's selling out there. I do my homework. Yeah. We find out what people want, what people are buying, and we look at, sometimes we'll look at what we're selling, and then we'll do iterations of that product that we're selling because people want more of it, and they may want to a black one instead of a white one, or a zebra instead of a double vintage white, or
Instead of
double
a
plastic
reverse
white.
zebra.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Now, I gotta find out here. What is this is the last thing we'll hit on your specific
Pickup line.
your job. But what is the most exciting and or interesting request that has come through?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's the Ferris Bueller cough.
There you go. That one was for free.
Sounds like the synthesizer cough in Ferris Bueller.
Like they played it high into the higher notes.
Yeah.
It's something that I've already done. And I wanted to touch on that and kind of
what a perfect segue
that
is. Why don't you take it away, man?
All right, so we'll go to the Gibson Pickup shop.
Sure.
So this product came out last week. It's the Collector's Edition Series 2, and it is an aged set of pickups. So it's the first aged pickup that we've sold just as a pickup alone in a long time. Now, we did sell aged pickups before, but that was a long time ago, and now is now, and these are awesome.
Yeah, they look really tastefully done. Sometimes you see pickups that are quote unquote aged, and it's like they went too far.
They look gnarly and crazy, and they have a bunch of weird rust on it, and they're all these weird different colors.
Yeah,
these are light aged, and what I like about light aged is when you put them on your guitar, they'll age right along with the rest of the guitar. And they were already nice and primed and ready to age according to how they're going to age with you playing them. So you get some genuine aging wear over the years with light aged. That's why I like light aged so much. So I wanted to talk about the Collector Series. So I wanted to point out why these pickups were so special. These pickups do not use the parts that our standard pickups use. And what I mean by standard is our 57 Classics, and that's a very highly bought pickup, a great sounding pickup. We're proud of it. But these are the cream of the crop, and I'll tell you why. We took a 1950s, a late 50s PAF pickup, one that didn't have the cover taken off yet, just so we knew it was farm fresh, never touched. So I did dissect that, and we actually took a lot of data from that pickup. Extensively, and we use 3D scanning and all sorts of different ways to figure out exactly what these pickups are. And other people have done that, and that's fine, but we felt because we're Gibson, we need to just be sure we're making what we want to make here because we made it in the first place.
Yeah,
50.
Absolutely.
So we did that, spent a lot more money on some different parts on these pickups, and very proud to say that they sound fantastic. It really works. The magnets and the metal spacer inside are just a pinch larger than the standard stuff because that's how they really were. So that's one of the reasons why these are so special. They command a little more dough. Because of that, they come with that cool lifting case.
It looks like a tiny little guitar case.
Yeah, it's
I know,
cool.
and
a brown case
I think
with the pink fur.
It does. It's like a little baby case. But to put this in
babies.
to put this more into perspective, we're only doing 1,000 of these sets, so we don't expect these to sell out within 5 seconds. Of going on the website, we know it's going to take a little time but they are very
for a discerning audience.
Yeah,
we welcome everybody to buy a set. But I just wanted to go through this. This is the second series, and the first series has double vintage white bobbins underneath the covers, which are really cool.
So you
They're
can
brand
take those
new
covers off if you wanted to.
Yeah. You have a luthier help you
Yes.
taking the covers off.
Yeah.
A pro. About the cream color bobbins, a lot of people say it's because our supplier didn't have black colorant at the time. They only had cream, and then others say as well as our magnet wire is really dark, so it's a lot easier to see the magnet wire go onto the coil form, which is the bobbin, because of the color. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to see for the technicians, the machine winders, the operators, see what they're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
were there any? I know that Slash kind of, he's the one that I remember going like, oh wow, those are cool. And I know a lot other people did it, but I just remember noticing that. And I actually went out and I had a wine colored, the wine stain studio from it was 1984. And I went and I'm like, well, I want to take my covers off, and I did, and it was cool. But were there any notable players that had ventured to take their covers off for any particular reason?
Probably not early on, I would say, but like
in the 60s is when you really see it. I mean, we sell a Jeff Beck Les Paul that has, double. We call that color double classic white. And
then Pagey would take off the cover on the bridge pickup and
of his number 2, I think.
Yeah,
right?
and leave the cover on the neck, because I think with the cover it tends to maybe darken the sound a little bit. It provides a lot of shielding, but I think by taking the cover off, especially in the bridge position, it makes it a little more lively pickup.
A lot less squealy too if you take the cover off.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason why. And I think Jimmy liked to experiment too. I mean, I've seen pictures where, and I've never confirmed this because I don't work for Fender, but I know it's funny, but his the Dragon telly that they came out with.
Yeah.
So there's pictures on the internet where that pickup, it's a 50s guitar, but that's a 60s pickup with like little like ceramic refrigerator magnets stuck on the bottom of it.
Oh, so he boosted the magnetic field.
The magnetic bloom.
The bloom.
Yeah, he tried to, but because the Alnico poles are really the only thing that's sticking up under those strings, you can't boost the power of an Alnico 5. It'll always just be Alnico 5. There'll never be any more power so it.
Dang it,
he
Bobby.
Thought it would work.
What you want to do is boost the magnetic bloom like a beautiful propane fire.
Propane.
So yeah.
That's cool. This sounds like a really nice addition to the first round that I guess were the double vintage whites. And I suppose the next logical move would be to do double blacks, right?
I mean, you never know what old Jared's cooking up. So we'll have to see. I mean, a lot of people wondered if there would be more than one series.
Right.
And why would you call it Series 1 if there wasn't, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the whole thing, the packaging, they're not inexpensive, but what you get compared to some other boutique pickup winders, I think you get the real deal because it's made by Gibson. That little mini Lifton case is, I think that's one of the coolest things that that you can get your hands on. Whether you put your picks or strings or whatever in there, it just looks like a miniature, brown Lifton case.
You can take the centerpiece out. And you've got a nice hollow case, and your wife can use that for cosmetics. You could put, your keepsakes in there.
Yeah.
So it's a fun case. So a lot of people at work, they're like, "Hey, give me one of those cases, man." I'm like, "Nah, I can't." But they're very popular at work. Yeah. Super popular. So.
Oh, I would say so. Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, are there any other ones on the list there that you'd want to talk about, or?
Well, I some new other pickups that came around that we can just kind of touch and go on, like the Dirty Finger Onyx. So Dirty Finger Onyx is an all black pickup. It's a blacked out, and that's to compete with Seymour Duncan and all the other fine pickup companies out there that make a black heavy metal pickup that's all blacked out. It's kind of like, a brand, you get a sports car and they have the blackout option. And that's just kind of the idea behind that. My buddy Nick Hurt, that's been at Gibson for a long time. He's a really talented guy. That was actually his idea. He's like, hey, we should do an all black pickup. And I'm like, yes, we should. So we did. And I remember where we were when he told me that. We were walking on the way to lunch. So we developed that and we sold some. And the cool thing about that is so they have stubby legs and they fit in most pickup cavities.
Yeah, if you wanted to drop one of these into a Strat or even in a neck position on a Telly, you got plenty of room.
Yeah, there's no grinding that needs to be done.
Yeah,
so
and that's cool. And these are some pretty hot pickups. I mean, 15K. Those are kind of monstrous, and those are ceramic magnets.
Yeah, so you can get those in the Dirty Finger and the Dirty Finger SM, and the SM is a single magnet, and that kind of competes with the super distortions and heavy, and those things. They're not as bright, so you have more of a mid strong sound. So those are great sounding pickups. So away from pickups, so I wanted to talk about the actual Gibson garage.
Oh yeah, that's
in
cool.
Nashville.
Yeah, let's do that.
So one of the cool things that I like about the Gibson garage is that they host a lot of different events, and there was a charitable event last week that Cheap Trick was the main event for.
Cool.
So we were all like, yeah, we were all drooling to get into that. I mean, it's Cheap Trick, man. They are they're Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artists.
Legends.
They
Icons.
are big time. So it was a lot of fun. Rick was throwing pics at everybody.
What other guitarist on the planet has what is a 100-foot guitar outside of the hard rock that's theirs?
Yeah,
exactly. He's a huge vintage nut too. So he's a huge avid guitar collector.
Yeah,
that's really cool about Rick. But
anyways, go ahead.
It was a really great event because it was a day or two after Veterans Day, and Gibson raised money to give to a foundation that gives guitars to veterans.
Nice.
And there's a lot of veterans out there. I'm a veteran, but there's veterans that went to war and are having a really hard time dealing with the reality of all that PTSD. It's really awful stuff. So anyway, I was happy to participate in that event, and it was a lot of fun.
That's nice.
And that's one of the cool things about the garage. So if you're around Nashville Guitar Knob people, fans and listeners and all of everybody's, please let me know that you're there. Maybe a few days ahead of time would be super helpful. Jared.allen.brandon on Instagram. I may or may not be able to meet you there, but if I can, we'll have a good time. I'll take you around, give you a tour of the garage and show you all the stuff and maybe get you into the secret area and the secret vault area.
Oh.
Now,
and all the fun stuff.
Now, even if they can't make plans that far in advance, not that it's that far in advance, everyone's welcome at the garage, right?
Absolutely.
So you can go in, see all the cool stuff on the walls. They've got
when you walk in
shop
there. So the picture that you see on the website, that's what you see when you first walk in the main doors, and it's a lot to take in. You see all the guitars that are on the top. Those are on rails. Mm-hmm. So you've got moving guitars the whole time that you're there, and there's a lot of them.
That's cool.
It's very interesting.
Nice.
They have everything from Epiphones, Kramers, all the way up to the super expensive custom shops. They have an acoustic room, the custom shop room, and you can even order made to measure if you want, or you can pick pick something out. The Epiphone rack, they got Gibson Les Paul Studios.
So you mentioned the studios. Now I understand there is a new studio, Les Paul Studio model that just came out recently.
Yeah, so we decided to bring the old studio back.
Cool.
And it's an ultra modern weight relief mahogany body with plain maple cap. It's got a mahogany neck with bound rosewood fretboard. So that's really cool. It's got a bound rosewood. It's got binding on it.
Yeah. Did the specials originally have binding on the neck?
I don't think they had binding.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
I have
so
one.
in the mid '80s, there was a studio with dot inlays that had the bound.
Right.
Yeah, those are really
not bound.
Those are really cool. Some of them were.
Yeah, mine. I'm just saying, my 84 was not.
Your 84 was not, but some of them were, and that was really cool. Those are really rare, and you can get these in like a sunburst or a cherry sunburst. I gotta say it right, cherry sunburst, or the good old wine red that we all love and know. So the new and cool thing about these studios are the electronics. We use the Burstbucker Pros. Those are a little higher output pickup with the Alnico 5 magnets, so they sound great, nice and bright, but still have plenty of growl, mid growl, because they're a little hotter. And these have push pull volume caps, so you've got a lot more choices as far as sounds. So you have a coil tap on these. It's pretty nice. And so if you're like, oh, I need a single coil sound, there you go. You have it at the studio because it's a studio. Or live or whatever you want. So these are pretty affordable. They're great guitars. So I just wanted to highlight this guitar.
Yeah, real cool.
And so one of the things I love about working for Gibson, as I may have said before, is that we love giving to the community. And there are many different foundations that we help out. So that's very near and dear to me. And so I'm proud to work for a company that does that.
Yeah, giving back is, that's what the best companies in the world do, and Gibson is among the top of them, especially when it comes to music. And you talked earlier about providing instruments to vets, and I know that they help out kids, and there's a lot of other programs that
I'm
Gibson
scrolling
helps
through
with.
here, and there are just loads of them.
Loads of them.
I'm impressed. I didn't know that about. I mean, I know obviously, corporations often are very involved in helping communities and organizations and everything, and I think this is a great example. And because look, let's just call what is everybody's probably thinking is like, Gibson guitars are expensive, but for reasons obviously known and speculated upon. Everybody moans about it online, but it's still a beloved brand that makes really amazing stuff. So it's great to see with our own eyes, like, wow, there are a lot of projects that they're able to help support as a result of that. So, you could say when you're getting a guitar or something, it is going beyond where you think it is, and I think that's something to keep in mind.
Thanks for articulating that. And it's a good feeling.
Cool. Well, Ben, it's been really fun. Just
before we go,
oh my gosh, Tony.
One of the things, we're coming up on the holidays, and there is a section for great Gibson gift ideas.
Oh yeah, there is. I saw that.
And
not only that, but if you buy a guitar, look on the website, but somewhere it says you get 2 Maestro pedals for the purchase of a guitar.
That's cool.
Really?
So you get to pick from the. Yeah.
And you also get it's called Happy Rockin' Holidays. And you get a free Gibson holiday gift or ornament with every order over $50, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can decorate the tree.
Happy rockin'?
Just, yeah.
Happy rockin'.
I'm not finding anything here.
Gibson Holiday Gift Guide.
Where is this?
Well, the first thing, at least what shows up here, is buy one, get two.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's featured. It's the first thing.
Buy one, get two. Buy one, get two.
And then...
Yeah, I've got some of those pedals, and I enjoy them. They're
That's
good
cool.
pedals.
No, I think,
They're really nice. They light up.
But there's, for everybody that, if you love guitars or if you specifically love Gibson guitars, there's some great stuff out there. And, Jen, if you're listening.
Yeah, right.
They've got some affordable double cut juniors and stuff for like $1,700.
Yeah, even the
there's something for everybody there.
Yeah, but you might want to have a little something. I know there's some books and different things like that, and obviously accessories and so there is literally something for everyone.
Something for everybody.
There is.
Yeah, super cool. Good idea, because there's lots of things on here. You don't have to get crazy. You don't have to spend a ton of money, and you can make your guitar friend very happy.
And I do particularly, I love the Gibson ugly sweater, the holiday sweater there. That's
really?
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
that's pretty funny.
You're missing out, buddy. You got to get on this website.
I'm trying.
You need an
now.
iPhone 8,
There's
baby.
Too much stuff on here.
Gifts under $50.
A lot of stuff. Dog collars. Oh my goodness.
You got it all.
Indeed. Well, thanks, Jared. We really appreciate you kind of getting us all caught up on the things that you've been working on, and we always reference you when you're not on the show, and it's nice to have you back on. We always,
I love it. I love being on here. Thanks for giving me this platform for a little bit to talk about. I really appreciate that, guys.
You bet.
Yeah.
And we look forward to hearing from some of the other people that are doing awesome things over there in the future.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, Tony Baloney. I think you don't have to shoulder the weight.
Oh, thank God!
The next segment.
Jared's
back, and he's going to take it away, Jared.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play an awesome, fun game. I've been waiting for this the whole show. It's great to be back to sing. Would you rather?
I'm gonna save that one and keep it on tap.
You should. So this week's Would You Rather, sent to us from our very good friend Bruce Bacon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the creative Would You Rathers that you've sent us in the past and that you are going to send. Because, and I'll tell you why I said that right now. So
good.
There are 5 episodes of this Would You Rather.
Oh.
This being the first episode.
Cool.
But let me read you the preface of that first.
Please do.
Todd was helping Tony move some guitars.
I can see where this is going.
When the most haunted of axes, a BC Rich warlock, accidentally fell on his head and knocked him out.
Knocked who out? You knocked
Todd.
me out? No, knocked Todd out.
Oh, man, it was Todd. You got knocked out.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Because you got knocked out.
Yes.
You got knocked the heck out. So when Todd awakened, he felt different. Now he has the power to summon the dead through what's that word? Incantation.
Yes.
Yep. So episode 1. In this episode of Beyond the Grave, you will have the opportunity to talk to an amp designer for 1 hour about amps only.
Only
What
amps.
would you rather talk to? Who would you rather talk to? Leo, Fender, or Jim Marshall?
Wow.
Now it's all about amps for 1 hour.
All about amps, 1 hour.
Is this because I'm in delirium? Oh no, this is the incantation.
You have the power.
I have
to
the power
summon
because I got hit on the head.
You got hit in the head with a warlock.
It's sort of like Spider-Man, except different.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
So we can spend an hour with the spirit of Leo Fender
Yes.
and talk about amps and only amps.
Yeah.
Or we can talk to Jim Marshall about amps and only amps for 1 hour.
So you can't ask him things like, what's it like being dead? And where are you? Things like that. It has to be about amps.
What's it like being dead?
That's not bad, Until Todd was
it's killing me. Rodney's over here. Rodney. Oh boy. I just yeah. Dangerfield's keeping me up all night, every night. God. Anyways.
Yeah, I love it.
Anyways. Okay.
So, would you rather spend an hour with Leo or spend an hour with Jim Marshall?
All right, Tony.
Oh boy. I mean,
you met Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually.
You have a picture with him, don't you?
I have several pictures with him.
Yeah. You on
real
a roller coaster at one point.
He was alive at the time, so I.
Yes.
Yeah. So the picture is a little more. It's not just a picture of me.
Yeah. You were on a roller coaster and he got hit in the head with a bird. Is that? No, that wasn't you. You and Jim Marshall. No. Okay.
No, that was a different one.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got hit with the head. He hit the head with
keep
a bird
going.
and a warlock. So, gosh, I mean, both of them. I mean, they created some incredible machines, if you will. Because I'd never had a chance to meet Leo. I think I'd want to spend an hour talking to him because, neither one of both of these guys took the basic electronics works that were published, I think, by Westinghouse, and that's what they added on to that to create their amps. And of course, Jim Marshall kind of started with a Bassman and made it into a Marshall. But I think Leo would be. I've always wondered what Leo would have been like if he was like a curmudgeon, if he was just kind of like out there. So being able to.
I bet he just liked to sit home and eat vanilla tapioca pudding. Honestly, I like the pocket protector, the whole thing probably had plastic on the couch.
You think?
That's why. Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
I think that came in metal cans back then, didn't it?
It might have. The tapioca pudding.
Oh yeah.
And then he would have saved the cans.
And yeah, he did say those were. Yeah, that was a well-known fact. There were cans from empty nut cans that were all over the shop, and that's where they put bolts and things in there. And he apparently liked nuts. So I don't think he
chock full of nut coffee.
I don't think he ate tapioca pudding. I think he ate nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but anyhow, I think it would be again a lot. It would be more interesting to me to talk to Leo. So that's my choice.
Okay.
Final answer.
All right.
Jared?
Well, Jim's from England, right?
Yeah.
All day long.
I would probably understand Leo a little better with the dialect posts and the Leo
He speaks English.
I mean,
he's not. He probably didn't talk like Dick Van Dyke and like Mary Poppins or anything.
I know, but and you and Tony watch a lot of shows from there, and they're super funny, and you're into that comedy. But
anyways,
I wasn't able to speak to both of them, and I love both their products. I love old vintage Fenders that he created, and I love the very first pickups that he created. Were those huge monstrosities And I've repaired at least 3 of those in my life.
You're not allowed to talk to him about pickups.
Yep. Or
It's
what
got to
it's
be
like
about
being dead.
amps.
Or yes.
Got to be about amps. Yes. Probably.
So what's it going to be?
I'm going to go Jim Marshall on this because I
180.
I know. I do prefer Marshall amps over Fender amps.
Well, there you go.
So that's just really why. So, but I still love the history and the legend of Leo Fender.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go with Marshall too, just because I think it would be interesting to talk to him about. I think it might be fair to say, I'm going to put myself out here right now, without those amps, the shows, I don't know how those shows would have gotten so big and so loud and so like what we think of as a proper rock show isn't like 10 stacks of Fender Twins.
Yeah, well, that's because Leo liked country and Western.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going to talk to Jim Marshall about that. And
Wow.
I'm going to then just bring a case of mixed nuts.
Yes.
And I'm going to sit down.
Yeah.
I might get 2 hours because I bring the nuts in with Leo.
And a cold sixer of
That's
hands.
because he's busy eating the nuts.
These nuts are making me thirsty.
Why did you bring anything to drink?
All right. That was a good one, Bruce Bacon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bruce. I
Thank
can't wait for
you.
episode 2.
I know. Through 5.
That's right.
Very exciting. We need to thank a few people right now, Tony.
That's right, Todd. At this point of the show, there's a special group of people we like to thank.
Yes.
These are our executive producers. Now, executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become one? Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs and check out a couple different levels in which you can participate. Become a friend, a hero, a patron.
Yes.
Of the podcast. A patron. I like the alliteration. Patron of the podcast.
Yes.
Because I don't have a pop filter. Each level comes with some very, very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great prizes. Oh, prizes galore. But I think there's one thing more.
That's right. You get to have your name read on the thing.
That doesn't sound like
No.
Jared.
Yeah.
Jared, we
Let's
need
do that again.
We need. What do you get?
All right. You get to have your name read on the thing.
Oh.
You want me to do it? You get to have your name read on the thing.
Okay, I'll do it that way. All right.
Do it that way.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Okay. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Keep working on it.
Yeah. One of these days you'll sound just like Jared.
Is going to need some work. Okay.
I think you guys have been trying to do me, and you've been,
I don't know. Pretty good.
It's like
messing it up how I
it's
really
like
sound,
it's
and
an
now
impression.
you expect it to sound super stupid.
It's like an impression of a cartoon of a cartoon.
Yes.
This
Anyways,
is
go
the way
ahead.
you
Go
want me
ahead.
to say
Tony,
it right
go.
here.
Go, Tony.
I'll do it. You get to have your name read on the thing.
Nope.
No.
Try it one more
All
time.
right, go.
No, one more
You
time.
get to have your name read on the thing.
Oh, you sound bored. One more time.
Lean
get to have
into
your
the mic,
name
Jared. You
read
gotta.
on-
You get to have your name read on the thing.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
There you go.
Oh,
We keep working on it, but that's okay. We'll take it.
acceptable.
We'll take it for now.
That's right.
All
You
right.
get to have your name read on the.
5.6 from the judges.
Hey, I'm talking here.
Okay.
That's right. You get to have your name read on the thing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: John Sebastian, Trevor Ellenberg, Cameron Pampas, James Bell, Brett Hogarth, Don Kloss, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Rusty Sneeden, Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Richard Kendall, James White, Justin Jones, John Esterle from Rare Buzz Effects, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Darren Gregory, Tom Barassin, Eric Marrow, and Plutone.
Yes, y'all.
Oh, but wait, Todd, there's more because there's a special group of executive producers.
One more. You keep going. No. That's what I was saying. Get on. There's more.
There's more?
Tell us about it.
Okay, that's right. There's a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs. These fine folks are the creme de la creme, the A number ones, the top of the heap. And they wear a fez upon their head whilst listening to the podcast. So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs. Anthony Gemolero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robinson, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Hex Matos, James Pennington, John Williams, LSJ Music Company, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Paul Von Eppinger, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, Tyler Casey Rhines, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wow Pickups, Pedro Vasquez, and Gregory Randall. Thank you.
Hey. Thank you so much. We say we can't do this without the help, but I had to handle a whole bunch of things today that I for sure 100% couldn't do without this help. So it isn't just lip service. It's keeping this thing afloat. And there's a lot more to it than us sitting here just blabbing to you guys, with you guys, I should say.
That's all I do.
We feel like you're right here with us. We wish you were right here with us.
Come on in.
It might be a little bit crowded, but you're welcome in our hearts and minds.
Oh, I think if we move to the big room,
Cleveland
we'd be okay.
whiskey.
Yeah. What would be actually really funny is if we did one whole episode while we were in one of the listeners' cars.
Oh, wow.
That's heavy.
That would really be something. We could just drive around and run errands.
Does anybody have a Yukon Denali?
Anyways, we can strap Jared to the top. All right, Tony, where can people find the things that you're doing?
Well, it's easiest to go over to pickguardian.com, check out some of the things that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you're trying to do. There's a little link on the website, or you can go to info@pickguardian.com. It's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Yes. Okay. Now, Jared, how about you?
Send me a message if you want to ask me about pickups or stuff like that. Jared.allen.brandon, JaredAllan, Brandon.
All right.
There you go.
Bunch of letters. Hey, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you're playing.
The kids call that the IG.
The IG, yes. We just love to connect with you. We get to do that on, weekly with people, and it's one of the best parts of the show. I kid you not. So we look forward to that. Please send in your would you rathers. Think Bacon. Bruce Bacon has got, Bruce Bacon and Bob Crouch are like fighting for, top notch. Who's got the best would you rathers?
They are fonts of would you rathers.
Yes. Yep. Do you think you can jump in there with them? I challenge you.
Throw down the gauntlet.
I bet you can.
Yeah. Anyways, Jared, it's been great having you with us, and we want to wish everyone out there a fantastic Guitar Week. Thank you all so much. Subscribe!
Yeah.
Everything I do. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. What in the hell are you doing over there, compadre?
Okay, it worked. We're good. Can you hear me okay?
Is Jared there?
Hello?
Hello, Jared?
Yeah.
Is Jared there?
Yeah. Wait, guys, hold on a second. Yeah, it was what I found that they typically do is the first time they want to bring something out, they do.
I'm gonna pause it. You're gonna start this whole thing over. Hang on.
Okay.
Except,
dude, he is a would you rather lord.
That's okay. Send it to me via email.
I will. No, I'll send it to you via email to all these links.
Perfect.
Right. Good idea.
I'm glad you thought of that.
First step.
Very strategic thinking.
Strategery.
Yeah.
Avert thine eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
11, 12.
At Tony Baloney Pedal
on Instagram.
That's BOL.
Yeah, and there are
NEY.
Did I not? Did you not get the email I sent?
I'm not going to try it. I won't try it. I know what I like, and I don't like that.
I said the same thing.
Well, go ahead. Make a fool of yourself.
I don't have time to talk about the car wreck on the show.
Well, tell us about the car wreck.
All right. I sent it again. See, I received your emails.
This is how my thing goes at home. I was sitting there checking out, just watching my fish and my shrimp and stuff, and I noticed one shrimp had kicked the bucket, and the other fish had hung himself. And so I looked at the other fishes, and they were all floating around. I said, "I'm gonna get you, little buddy." I'm gonna get you, little buddy. I'm gonna go get you, little buddy. I'm gonna go get you, little buddy, tomorrow. What you gonna do when you get that buddy? I don't know. Swim around with the buddy. What you gonna do when you get that buddy? Play games behind the rock with the buddy. And Mary goes, "What are you doing?" Like, I don't know.
Talking
Oh my
to fish.
God.
You're talking to fish.
Yeah.
Boy.
Alarming. Yeah, I sent it to the right thing.
Let's get rid of that. And bing bong.
I am a garage. I am a garage. Do you want to silence your phone?
Yes. The audience is listening.
This message has not been sent. Why not?
What in the hell is wrong with you? And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.